All right, it's been about a little less than 24 hours, probably 20 hours. We're gonna take this back out of the fridge and bring it inside, work some magic with it. So what I was gonna do is make one big pizza out of this, but I changed my mind. We're gonna make two. So I'm gonna take this out of here, and we're going to cut it in half if you wanna make two pizzas. I got my trusty little knife. Just eyeball it. I'm going to fold it back again. It's pretty cold. And then I'm going to spray my counter a little bit. Now we're gonna make a dough ball. Kind of push it forward. Roll it around. Perfect. I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna put it back in this container. Just put it on the counter. Take the other one, we'll put it in this container. We'll do the same thing with this one. Put that in there. And now we're going to leave these for about 3 hours, maybe a little bit more, and then we're going to make our pizzas. Okay, so the first thing I always prep is the garlic. And if you're making a lot of pizzas, this may seem like a lot of garlic, but it really isn't, because we put it on the pizza underneath the cheese. And by the time it cooks in, all that bitter garlic taste is gone. So I put these in a little chopper. Real fine. And then you can't get the top off. And then I'll put these in a little bowl and just set them aside. All right, first we're just gonna, little update on the dough. It's been rising for about 2 hours. See, it's pretty much almost doubled in size. We're gonna let this go for a little bit longer, but we're gonna start prepping. And the first thing I did earlier was I made some sauce, because we're just gonna make two pizzas, so this is probably for one. Pretty simple. All it is some oregano, some dried basil, some garlic powder, a little salt and pepper, some sugar, and just a tad of red pepper. I brought it to a boil real fast, shut it off, and let it set for 2 hours. All right, we're gonna make the famous onion pizza. To do that, we need about 2.5 pounds of onions sliced real thin. So first we want to get the paper off these, obviously. This is pretty basic onion peeling 101. And then we're gonna slice them real thin, because we're gonna caramelize these suckers for about an hour. So you want to get them as thin as you can without taking all day long to do it. As you can see, the wine is out, because that's always an important part of making pizza, because you got to loosen up a little bit, you know. And what we've done here is we've prepped everything. We've got some mozzarella, we've got some bell pepper, Italian sausage, some onion, there's our garlic, some black olives, some pine nuts, anchovies, some pepperoni, mushrooms, and these onions. These onions are special because they're going to make one of the pizzas. This is a pretty cool pizza that everybody seems to like a lot. So what we're going to do is show you how to prep these onions for the pie, and we're going to head over to the stove. All right, so olive oil. We want to give it a pretty generous dose here, because it's got to coat the onions. We don't want too much. Put our flame on high. Then we're going to take some of our garlic, not all of it, maybe a big handful like that, because the rest of it's going on the pizza. We throw the garlic in. Stir that around a little bit. Could have waited until the oil got hot, but it's okay. We'll let it get hot now. Next, we're going to take these onions that we've slivered up. All right, olive oil is hot. We're gonna dump these in, the whole lot of them. All right, next, I have a garden out back. We got some thyme. We dried our own thyme. So this is fresh dried thyme. If you don't have fresh dried thyme, you can just go to the store and get some thyme. The thyme is really important in this. Gives it a really good flavor. Love thyme. Salt. Pepper. We're going to turn the flame down. We don't want to burn it. We want to caramelize it. And this is going to take about 30 to 45 minutes, even an hour sometimes. So this is another labor of love. You just keep coming back to the stove. Down to like medium low. And then we're just going to come back and forth and watch this. So this is one of those things you do beforehand while your dough is still rising. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a New York and go from there. So the first thing we do is we got the surface super sterilized. We're going to put a little flour down here. Okay. We're going to get one of our dough balls, which looks really sweet right now. Look how nice that looks. We're going to just grab that. Oh boy, that's nice and wet. Just the way we want it. Okay, before I do any more, I'm going to take a little corn flour, sprinkle it on my board. A little, that's the pizza slide, and then we're gonna stretch the dough. This is when the guys flip it in the air, like that. Oh. Or you can just stretch the sides, which with this dough I recommend because it's super flexible, very stretchy. And you want to get it to the size that you want. Very elastic. And you just flop it down on that board, pull it out. And then I like to pinch the edges because that gives you a nice thick crust. You want to stretch it even bigger. All right, now I'm going to take my sauce, put it in the middle and just kind of swirl it out to the edges. All that beautiful garlic, we're going to sprinkle some garlic. The key to pizza sometimes, or most of the time, is all the ingredients that you want to cook, like vegetables and peppers and any of the raw stuff you put underneath the cheese. So we're going to put our garlic there. We're going to put some onions down there. Got some red and orange, just for some color. I'm going to put our mozzarella. I'm going to put some black olives. Mushrooms. If you use mushrooms, make sure they're really dry. I leave them out overnight just to get some of the moisture out of them, because these things, you don't want to use too many of them because it'll just make the pizza too wet. Or pepperoni. I get the big slices, but you can get the small slices too. Look her up. And then we're going to put some Italian sausage on here. You can use sweet or hot. I got some hot Italian sausage. And I'm going to use this on the other pizza just for, because I haven't tried it before. All right, that should be just about enough. Before I do anything else, I'm going to go wash my hands. So give me 1 minute, I'll be right back. The only thing I haven't put on here is fresh basil, because I haven't been to the store under quarantine. I'm going to put a little Parmesan on top. And then we're ready to throw her in the oven. You always slide it a little bit, make sure it doesn't stick, because if it does, you you're pretty much done. You'll never make it in. Put the pizza peel all the way to the back, slide her off, and then we'll check on it in about 6 minutes and see what it looks like. All right, it's been about 9 minutes. I'm gonna spin this around a little bit so it cooks pretty a little more evenly. And we'll probably give it another 5 minutes and it should be done. All right, this has been in about 16, 17 minutes, and it's, if you like your pizza crispy, I think that's what we got here, is a crispy pizza. Nice and brown on top, everything's bubbling nice. We're gonna put it on here, and we're gonna let it cool a little bit before we cut it up and eat it. Yeah, baby. Okay, onion pizza. There's our caramelized onions. Beautiful. We're gonna dump those right on there. Oh yeah, okay. And then we're gonna spread them out. You can use your hands if you want, but it's hard to get my hands dirty today. I've washed them about 400 times. Now we're gonna put some black olives on there. Some pine nuts. Some capers. And then we're gonna do a little bit different. I usually put anchovies on the whole thing, but I'm gonna try something a little bit different today. So we're gonna do anchovies on half because I've been eating them. And these anchovies are not the white anchovies. These are either get the best quality you can, hopefully imported from Italy. You can actually go into World Market and get some pretty decent ones. They come in a little bottle. Anchovies make a big difference of the quality of them. Sometimes they're way too fishy. All right, on this side, I'm gonna put some sausage. We wanna use it up. So I got a little bit of garlic left. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on there just to get rid of it. Waste not, want not. And then a little Parmesan just to top it off. All right. Then we're gonna stick her in the oven. Remember, always test it. There you go. I'm gonna take a little oregano, sprinkle it on top a little bit, and then we're gonna cut it. And when you're the pizza maker, the best thing about making pizza is you always get the first bite to make sure that it's okay. Perfect. All right, onion pizza. A beauty. A beauty. Oh yeah, that one's cooked to perfection.